Hey, this is Akshay Bhaskar from Geeks4Geeks, and thank you so much for joining. 14 people are already live, and today again we'll talk about interview experience of a person. So his name is Ruthvick Suresh, and he's a firmware developer at Western Digital Sandisk, and he's from RV College of Engineering, Bangalore. So this is just a brief intro. I'll invite him. He'll talk about it more. But तुम्हें पता ही है, before moving on, मुझे बात करनी है तुम लोगों से. सो हाय हेलो कमेंट्स में आ जाए फटाफट. आई रीड द कमेंट्स. सो विनांत is saying waiting for this to start. Thank you, Vinant. Lochan, I think, okay, wow, okay. Hi guys, how are you? How's it going? Sunday आज तो. Waiting for some highs and hellos. 27 people are live. Okay. Okay, Vinant, I hope you're tuning in and we'll talk. Okay, so I'll invite the guest and he'll start with this brief introduction. And during the session, just converse and अब आए हैं तुम लोगों के कमेंट्स हेलो हाय के. मुझे लगा था कोई कमेंट ही नहीं कर रहा है यार. हाय कौशल्या, हाय त्रुकी, हेलो आदित्य, हाय अरकप प्रोवा, ग्रेट ओके. हेलो सर, कैसे हो? राहुल बढ़िया एकदम, थैंक्स भाई. Motherboard change. Hello. Awesome. Chalo. People are engaging. Great. Hi Gurjot. Hi. So, okay. Ritvik को बुलाते हैं. Hey Ritvik, how are you?
Hi Akshay. Fine. How are you?
I'm good. Great. So, I told them about you thoda sa. But
Yeah.
let's start with a brief introduction about yourself. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, myself, Ruthvick Suresh. I'm pursuing my electrical engineering 8th semester last year at RV College. Also, parallelly, I'm working as an intern as a firmware developer at Sandisk. So, I'm from Chikmagalur, basically. So, then I did my PU at Expert Bangalore. Now I'm doing my engineering RV.
Okay.
That's my
all right. Okay. So, let's talk about the placement which you got, right? So how did you get to know about the opening of Western Digital? Yeah.
So it was on-campus recruitment.
Okay.
It came for RV College. So maybe I can tell about eligibility criteria.
Okay.
Like CGPA eligibility was above 7.5. And then branches allowed were CS, IS, EEE, and EC. I'm from EEE, so I was allowed.
Okay.
And then there was no constraints on backlog. I mean, people who had backlogs also applied for this. So for our college.
Okay. Or
yeah,
did somebody get placed? Jiske backlog, the person who had a backlog, was he also placed? Like somebody you know?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So they basically
yes, I think he got placed. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about how many rounds were there in the interview, and you can also step by step explain each and every round. We can take put some more minutes for this. You can be as precise as possible over here. It's a really important question.
Yes. Yeah, sure. So the first round was selection round for the interview. You can hear me, right?
Yes, completely.
Hello. Yeah. So the first round was a selection round for interview. There was no coding question in the selection round. All were aptitude. I mean MCQ questions. There were 15 aptitude questions, medium level, and there were 15 questions based on operating system. Then 10 questions based on output of C and C++, and then about electronic questions like network questions, gate questions, something like that. So questions were not that difficult. It was medium. But the thing is, 45 minutes were there and 45 questions were there. So 1 minute for each question. So I answered some 40 questions. Out of those, maybe 30 to 35 are correct. So 35 to 40 people were shortlisted for interview. Then in the first round, it was like hands-on coding in C, because my role is the embedded system role, developer role. So firmware developer is that. So I had to code in C. So he asked questions like the questions were not that difficult. It was medium. There is nothing like which you can't answer. The first question was you have to find the maximum product of any two integers in an array. in O of n time, you should use only one for loop and O of n time. You can't use two for loops separately. That is also O of n time, but I have to use only one for loop. So if the question is 1, 2, 3, 4 in an array, then the answer is 3 into 4, 12. If there are negative numbers like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, then -3 into -2 is +6. So that is a maximum product. So just you have to find any two maximum numbers and any two minimum numbers. Then you have to find the product and see which is greater. So it was easy. It was simple. He wanted me to code and show the answer output and all. So I did that. It was easy. And then he asked me, this question was actually good. He asked me a question. We have to find the sum of all subarrays of an array in O of n time. Like if the question is 1, 2, 3 in an array, then I have to find 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 12 plus 23 plus 123. So just like sum of all subarrays of an array, you have to find in O of n time. So this is also simple. This is actually, this question is there in Geeks4Geeks only. So you can refer that. The approach is good. And some similar coding questions he asked. He asked me a very easy question. You have to find a reverse a negative number. Like -123 is there, means it should print -321. You don't have to consider negative actually. You can forget negative. You can just reverse a number and then multiply by minus. So all questions were simple like that. And then he asked me, you're given an array in which there are zeros and ones. So you have to modify the array such that zeros come first and then one comes next. So I told him the quicksort approach. You can treat 1 or 0 as a pivot and you can do. Then he wanted approach using hash map. So I also did that. So it was, the first one was simple like this. And then he asked me a puzzle after, he asked one more coding question. And it was simple also again. I had to code everything and show him the output of all five coding questions. And then he asked me a puzzle. So puzzle was like there are 3 people in this side. This person has to go to this side. At a time, only 2 person can go. This person will take this amount of time, something like that. I did not answer it properly, but he was satisfied with the coding answers itself. So he selected me for the next round. So in the second round, questions were based on operating system and computer architecture, like mutex and semaphore. What is interrupts in computer architecture, and what is some bits questions like power of 2, something like that. What is structure padding? Now, structure padding is a question which I didn't know for so many days actually. I was preparing for a Cypress Semiconductor company. I was selected for an interview for that company also. I didn't get selected for the company, but in the interview they asked me what is structure padding. I didn't know what was structure padding then. So then I actually searched in Geeks4Geeks itself. It was there, structure padding. What is that? So they asked me in Sandisk to structure padding. I answered very well this time. So structure padding is something which nobody knows usually. So for that, what is volatile memory was one thing which asked. We don't give much importance to these questions. We think only coding will be asked. Some basics operating system will be asked. But these questions are something which they suddenly ask, like volatile memory, structure padding, and all. And scheduling algorithm questions, like basic questions they asked, second round. And first round had given feedback. First interviewer had given feedback for the second interviewer that I don't give up. I am very confident and all. So that also added very well. So I did not miss any question second round. I answered all. I did not miss any question. Then third round was actually manager took, one of the manager of the company took the third round. This was like complete, like managerial round was there in this. They asked me questions about project. They asked me questions about again operating system, some coding questions, something like that. Not coding questions, just not exactly question, just approach, something like that. So third round was okay. I did not answer some of the questions, but overall it was okay. And then about project, I had to tell actually my projects weren't that good. My project was, I did project in 2-3 days. So my project whatever project I had done, it was very easy. But if you have time, like after preparation you have time, then you can think about projects. But if you don't have time, then you can actually do small projects having complete idea about that project. Whatever you do, if you have complete idea, then I think they will agree, because they just want to know whether you have the capacity to work, something like that. So project, I explained them. So he was impressed with the way I explained. Then actually I had written an article for Geeks4Geeks. He saw that article. he was impressed with that also. Largest substring where all the characters repeat at least k times. This is a article I had written. You can refer. And that's it. After third round, actually everybody had after first round, what we had, like they conduct first round for everyone, and then they'll select some people for second round. Then they'll shortlist again after second round. This was happening. Now after third round, they selected some people for fourth round. I was not there in that, so I thought maybe I did not do well in third round, so I'm not selected. But for all others, they conducted fourth round, but there was no fourth round for me. In the HR round, they again shortlisted. I was there in HR round, so I don't know how is that. Only I had less number of rounds. HR round was like next level. It was too friendly. I mean, we actually started conversing in Kannada. I'm from Karnataka, and HR was also from Kannada. So we spoke in Kannada for about 45 minutes. We started talking about films and all.
Yeah, so you connected well on that, right? You both connected well on that.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great.
Correct.
Okay, so that was all for every round, right? Each and every round. Do you want to add something else?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, great, man. Great. So
that.
You want to add? All right, I'll get back.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, about preparations, you are asking, or about the interview?
Sorry, didn't get you.
No, you're asking to add about the preparations or about the whatever the interview.
No. Actually, I'm just saying that in this question, is there anything else you want to add in terms of the rounds left, right? So you told that the third round was last for you, right? Okay. So let's. You said that your projects weren't that good, but still you kind of managed to get a placement there. So let's talk about this. The weightage of these two things, projects and internships, in your resume. Let's talk about this. What's the importance of projects and internship in the resume?
I can't hear you properly. What is the importance?
Okay. So importance of projects and internship in the resume.
Yeah, so I think for me personally, what I understood is projects and internship will add for the things, but it won't it won't affect you. If you have, then it's good. It will help you for the whatever the placement. But if you don't have, then it's okay. It's based on the technical questions how you answer. So I don't think that projects, if you have, it's good. If you don't have, it's okay. Just do a small project and explain it well.
But in other companies, so we have had people from many other companies. Generally, people say that have at least one project. Okay, so
yes,
yeah, I understand in your point. In your case, you kind of you didn't have project, but you still cracked one Western in a placement in Western Digital. But I think we cannot generalize it that it's fine to not have a project. That's what I feel, because
correct.
I figured out that okay, one project, everyone said minimum one. So let's just tell the audience that there can be exceptions. Somebody who doesn't have a project, okay, can still get a chance, but it's better to have one project. So
correct.
The probability of you getting placed will increase, definitely. You'll have more options.
Correct. I was stressing more on the time. If correct. You're right. If you have less time, then prepare for technical more than project.
Yeah. In that case, yes. But in general, if you want to tell, I think one project is fine. And what about internships? Correct. What are the internships, Ruthvick?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't do any internship, so
okay.
It was.
No, that's a good thing, because just saying that the people watching us who haven't done both of these things, they are in a state of self-doubt as to
correct.
Now they can come out of it and think, okay, still there are many companies which can take me on my technical skills solely. So rather than complaining, they can switch to this mindset. That's why I'm emphasizing that.
Yeah. Understood.
Okay, fine. So Ritu, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Okay, so actually,
what do you want to do in terms of career?
Yeah, I'll just tell. How I got motivated in preparing for the interview for 6 months. See, I did not have any coding knowledge until maybe 2019 December. I started coding in 2019 December, and I got placed in 2020 September. So these are 6 months which I started coding. I mean, maybe in December I did not know how to write a code to find an even number. I was in that stage in December. So, but what I thought is, I was preparing daily. I used to solve one coding question, try solving one coding question, not solve. For some 2 months, I took time to understand the code. It's like, I feel it's just like a language. What I mean is, you can learn Kannada. I can teach you Kannada, but that is not the great thing. The thing is the content you speak. So here the content is logic. You don't have to know all the languages. You don't have to know C++, C, Java, Python. It's not like you have to know everything. If you know one coding language properly, and if you can solve coding questions properly, then it's enough for now. Maybe in the interview they ask like, oh, this company uses only Java or Python, so you have to know all of the things. But you can tell them, I know one coding language, so I can compare and learn. So it's if you don't have time, if you have less time to prepare, as in my case, I had 6 months to prepare for coding, operating, I mean, all the software topics, because I was from a hardware branch. So don't study all of the languages, and maybe in web development also. There is a Python, and then in web development, each language has a different framework. Like Java has Spring, Python has Django. So you don't have to know all of them. Just it's okay to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as a basic. Then it depends on the company. If the company uses Java, then you have to know Spring. You can't learn every languages and every language's framework. You can't do that. That's stupid. I mean, if you don't have time, if that's stupid. If you want to learn something after you know all the technical questions, then it's okay. But when you're starting, you can't do that. So I had the knowledge of that from seniors. So I started coding. I did only coding for 4 or 5 months, only coding. Then I started. Then my friend, I had friends from IS, like Vinant, Anupama, and then some friends I had like Tushar and all. So then we used to discuss what I should study. They used to guide me what to study and all. So I was preparing daily I prepared on daily basis, not like one day you can't do anything, as if I feel. So keep yourself in a motivated in the way that you at one point you lose hope, because maybe company is not allowing you because of eligibility criteria, or maybe company is not coming to your college. You lose hope. The thing is, if you feel like, if I study also I don't get job, so what should I study, means nothing will happen. I mean, you have to prepare. When the opportunity comes, then you will get the success. You can't be like, okay, tomorrow company is coming, I'll prepare now. That is not possible. This is not like 10th standard or 12th board exam. You have to have continuous preparation to have confidence to crack this. So that's what I feel about motivation or whatever. If you have honest preparations, then I think that will get paid one day.
That's true. So true, yeah. So, any advice to the viewers during this journey? Any particular advice?
Yeah. So one thing is, have this attitude of learning. Learning is a continuous process. Have the confidence of learning, rather than telling that I know. I mean, I can know everything. I can do anything. Instead of that, because I have seen in the companies, they want you to have the attitude of learning, rather than you have the I have this thing, skills and all. Rather than having that you have to have the skill of learning, because that's what makes you very that will help you for your growth. So not like, I'm not telling it's like HR kind of answer, but please develop this attitude of learning, and have the confidence of learning, which will actually help you for your growth. That's what I feel, and that's what I have. I'm following.
Okay, Ruthvick. So let's go through the comments and pick up one question.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just pick up. I read that comment. So we can just pick up one question only, because we are already 20 minutes.
Yeah. Sir, can you please provide or tell any guidelines for being skillful to getting into this type of company?
Should we talk about that?
I just spoke about all those things, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, Pukra,
tell us how shouldn't first. Yeah.
Please share your coding question. You shared your coding question, right? In the first. So, Pukraj, in the first step by step, explain each round. What your question was, Abhi, in the starting. You mentioned about the questions, right? Which were asked.
Yes, I mentioned. There were 5 coding questions, and I mentioned everything. All I think.
Okay, so just Ritik, just select one. I'll just select it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pin it, and we'll get
Yeah,
talking about it.
tell us how should a first year CSC student should prepare.
So it's
Okay, so take
Madhuram's
your
question.
time.
Alright.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Madhuram.
Okay. Please go.
So actually take your time, because first year is too early for preparations and all. So I think you'll be having C as your one of your subject in first year if you're from engineering. So take your time for first year. You just get adjusted to C properly, uh, understand C properly. Then I think you can start coding in a platform like Geeks for Geeks and all. You can start easy questions, medium questions. You can have slow start. Once you get the like the pick, you can actually start solving
Okay.
and
So
all.
okay, so there's one Addy's question also. Let's take that. So Addy is saying how to prepare for placement if good companies don't come to our college.
Yeah, so this is the thing which I also had in my mind. What if a good company doesn't allow my branch?
Hmm.
So it's just like this is not the end. Whatever you get
Hmm.
placed in the engineering, that is not the end of your life. I got placed in a mass recruitment company at starting called Mindtree. So I thought it's okay. Let's start my career at Mindtree. Then let me I can shift. This is not the end. So you prepare your best. You prepare your whatever the best you can, because if you prepare for next level, then even the very good companies you can crack the interview very well. So
Yeah, plus
what I think
you can
is,
apply for off campus. You can apply for off campus, right? You can prepare so
yeah,
well,
sure,
grade also so well, and you
correct,
can apply off campus, right?
yes.
Addy. Hmm.
If you have luck, then you will be selected for interview. Then if you have knowledge, then you will be selected for the company.
Okay, nicely put. Uh, so that's about it. So आज के लिए इतना ही. So few people. So Sonia is commenting the position you are at now, Ruthvik, is a dream of many. Congratulations, got encouraged. So congrats to you, Ruthvik.
Thank you, Sonia.
And the session was good, really good, and I enjoyed a lot.
Thank you.
So I hope you also like the conversation we had with our audience and
Yeah,
with our.
actually, thanks for the opportunity
All right,
to
so I'm
yeah,
no. So all right, Ritvik, I'll bid goodbye to and take 1 minute more of the audience. All right,
yeah, sure.
bye bye,
Bye,
take care, bye
bye, audience. Yeah.
bye. So that's about it. आज के session में इतना ही था. Today was it, and you're welcome, Addy. That's completely fine. Rohan is saying, answer my question. How a BCA student can prepare for companies like this? अरे रोहन मेरे भाई sorry. So there's a so Ritvik's LinkedIn profile link is in the description. You can ask this question to him maybe on LinkedIn. Just a second. Ritvik is still here. I'll just invite him and ask him once. Ritvik. Ritvik.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm asking that if people can, send you a connection on LinkedIn, and ask question if they have, because we couldn't pick many, so that's fine, right?
Correct, correct.
All
Yeah, yeah,
right.
fine, fine.
So okay. So Rohan and Addy and others, whoever have more question, please feel free to send a note to him and the connection request, and the description, the LinkedIn URL is in the YouTube description. Okay, guys. Thank you, Ritvik. Chal bye.
Bye, bye.
All right. Oh, so that was it. So one more thing. Today is the last day of upgrade, which I talked about in the yesterday's webinar. Yeah, Utkarsh, you also. So go to the link of the upgrade link in the YouTube description and check out the offer. 4,000 का cashback है, 2,000 instant, 2,000 coupons उन लोगों के लिए जो ऑलरेडी हमारा ऑनलाइन या लाइव कोर्स ले रहे हैं. और ये जो 4,000 का वो है ना डिस्काउंट, ये है CIP डॉट असिस्टेंस के लिए और बाकी लाइव कोर्सेज के लिए. तो ये चेक कर लेना. ओके. Awesome. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. And every day we'll have such sessions and कुछ special topics पे भी बात करने वाले आगे जाके. Mocks भी होंगे live. So stay tuned. And this is Akshay Bhaskar from Geeks for Geeks. Thanks for joining. Bye. Keep learning, keep growing, and take care. Have a great Sunday.